We are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has the highest inflation in over 40 years, where the stock market just finished the worst first half of a year in more than 5 decades. We are a nation that has the highest energy cost in its history, and we are no longer energy independent or energy dominant, which we were just 2 short years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and Saudi Arabia for oil. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. We're a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've never seen anything like this. We're a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is about all you get. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, where crime is rampant like never before, where the economy has been collapsing, where more people died of COVID in 2021 than in 2020. We're a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon and China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it's taken from the United States to build a military to rival our own. We are a nation that over the past 2 years is no longer respected or listened to all around the world. Still to liberty and freedom and faith. We're a nation whose economy is floundering, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the bottom of every list. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. But soon we will have greatness again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it is hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. Ever, ever, ever. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. We will never let you down. As long as we are confident and united, the tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a little chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.
Welcome back to another night of Steak with Koolfrogg. I do have America's Shirts with me. How's it going, America's Shirts?
Yeah.
Yo. So, back to the nitty gritty. Back to doing what we do best, and that's tell the news and listen to some news. Because when it comes down to it, that's what we have always known what to do. These last couple nights were great, were fun. I met a lot of fun people, and I was able to actually expand myself up to about 425 subscribers. Thank you all very, very much. Here's the thing. Everything that I dug through all day long, trying to find articles for tonight, trying to figure out what to actually do, nothing that I found outdid anything that I could find that dealt with Donald Trump. So, yes, it is another night of news of Donald Trump. That's what it is. Nothing I can do about that. Whoops. What am I? Where's my? Why is this doing this? There it is. Wrong one. Let's boomer through it because that's what we do best.
Well, I don't know exactly what's detailed in this article here, but I can tell you that they have put together a grand jury to try to criminally indict Donald Trump, trying to use the Espionage Act to do so.
Yeah, they're treating him
Uh,
like he's like Eric Swalwell or something or other.
right, like Eric Swalwell.
Yeah, like
Swell as well.
like, well, if we keep on bringing up new charges and charging them with new things, eventually, it's like throwing shit against the wall. Eventually, something will stick, and that's pretty much what they're freaking doing. It's very upsetting and very disturbing.
Well, right, but one of the things, but again, they want to charge him with espionage, so that obviously they think that that's going to prevent him from holding public office. Because if you violated espionage, well then and then of course there's the nuclear documents leak, and that's where we transformed from ultra MAGA to ultra dark MAGA to now ultra nuclear MAGA. So that's the new thing,
let's
ladies
do
and
this
gentlemen.
one
It's
first.
ultra nuclear MAGA.
Because of the where you went with that, let's do this one first. We'll do this international paper that actually brings up nuclear documents. It says Obama kept classified nuclear documents too.
Oh yeah, every president does.
Right?
It's like, oh my God, he has the nuclear codes. And of course, the nuclear codes change on like a freaking daily basis. So it's not like Donald Trump can like write them down on a sticky notepad and like stick it in his pocket. Like, that's not how that works. But again, let the lefties go insane. I mean, the lefties are literally saying on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are tuned into us at this particular point in time, they are literally saying on Twitter that Donald Trump has hidden secret government documents inside of possibly the casket or his former wife herself's body into the ground. That they had because she just passed away not too long ago. I mean, that's the level of bullshit crazy we're at right now with these people, where there's lefties on Twitter and all these other places where they're losing their shit. And they're saying Donald Trump has buried hidden documents in his wife's casket or have stuck them in his former wife's body. Like, it's the most insane shit. And it's so crazy. But don't correct them. Just keep letting them go. And maybe it'll get on CNN or MSNBC, which that would be fantastic if it did. That'd be so freaking funny if it did.
Look at Barton Bella. I mean, she was cremated. I mean, I really don't know if that's the case, if that was true. I'm pretty sure that they did some kind of funeral at the private area by this golf course or whatever that he owns. But it's his own cemetery that they went and buried. So I mean, they're gonna be like, "Oh my Lord, he has to be," whatever, this, that, and the other. Yeah, they buried her ashes. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. The idiocy of the left pushing for this, this type of thing or whatever is just, it's so stupid. Real quick, because we didn't do it. Let's say hi to everybody. Hello, Tom. Hello, Susie. Hello, Ish. Hello, they call me Rose. Hello, Dragon Man. Hello, Phil. What's up, private and public? What else do we got here? Mimsy. Yeah. Let's see. Phil says Hillary likely gave the Chinese access to the Pentagon's defense computers through her bathroom server for money and destroyed evidence demanded by Congress. WTF.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all know that was happening. Chinese with anybody else. I mean, that's just obvious. I mean, we know what that is. We know what that whole operation was about with her. I mean, why else keep it on a private thing for yourself and let no one else look at it? Because you're doing private dealings for yourself. That's why. I mean, that's obvious. Like, I said that from the very first day that it happened. And again, like I said, I'm not all that old myself. But I mean, I remember when all this happened, it's like, oh yeah, she's selling it. I mean, come on, like, let's just be real here, people. I mean, she's done all the rest of this stuff. These people have done all the rest of this stuff. I mean, of course she's selling this information. Of course she's doing this. So anyways.
So then President Barack Hussein Obama kept 33 million pages of
Can't say
documents,
Hussein.
much of them classified. How many of them pertain to nuclear? Where it is, lots. Says Donald Trump. Earlier on Friday, Trump said nuclear weapons issues a hoax, just like Russia was a hoax. 2 impeachments were a hoax. The Mueller investigation was a hoax, and much more. So they're using Donald Trump's words in this particular article to write about Barack Obama also doing the same thing. So what's the point of actually going after one and not the other? Oh, because that's the way the left does it. The left won't go after themselves. Why would they? And we all know the left owns the FBI right now. FBI's in their back pocket. There's not much you can do about that. I'm not going to read the rest of the article because I really don't have to. We get the point. We really get the point. If you don't get the point that every single president is given codes that declassify themselves shortly thereafter, like Church said, almost on a daily basis, it's just stupid. Them thinking that wouldn't be is it just makes your head hurt when you think about it.
And the other thing is, again, is that the president of the United States has sole power to declassify. He's the head executive. He can do whatever he wishes with that information.
Right.
And something that was revealed today when I was watching Viva and Barnes a little bit earlier today was that Trump basically, if he wanted documents sent to Mar-a-Lago, where, of course, he spends a good bit of time, sort of the second White House, if you will. And there's other presidents that sort of have this thing of like, the second White House type of thing, where, they go there for a while, then they come back. What he would do is just say, hey, anything that I want to send to Mar-a-Lago is declassified. And that was just the way it was. That was just the way it was supposed to be. Because he's the president. He says, I want this declassified. He has the power to do it. There's no need for this kind of process to go on because the president says, I want this declassified. Oh, but the National Archives, it doesn't matter. He's the president. He is above the National Archives. If he wants something declassified, it's going to be declassified. And if it's not, then you're disobeying a direct order from the president. So, yeah. So it's the National Archives. And again, the whole thing with that too. I mean, again, there's a process by which you follow to receive documents from the National Archives. And something else that Barnes pointed out too is that the president, if he mistakenly took things that or took copies that should have been left with the National Archives so that there could have been a copy made so that a store of documents is still there in the National Archives, right? If he accidentally took all the copies or whatever, that's something to deal with the lawyers of the president or the counsel of the president. Or to be quite honest, it should be on the National Archives' fault because they didn't make it explicitly clear. And the National Archives didn't send somebody to the president to make sure that there wasn't a miscarrying of documents so that they didn't have a copy of things. So that should be on the National Archives themselves. So the FBI should be arresting people and not really arresting them because obviously this whole thing of going crazy and raiding and arresting shouldn't happen in this case at all. It doesn't rise to that level of execution of that kind of that kind of a level of an execution of that kind of force. But if anybody should be looked into by law enforcement or should face some sort of court proceeding as a result of faultiness that they did, of negligence on their part, it should be the National Archives themselves for not only directly, making sure that there were documents that were brought back along with them, but if there was anything left over, again, that should be on either president's legal, not giving the president proper legal, or really, again, as I said, the National Archives themselves. And again, they were already, as we read in, what was it, Thursdays, or was it Thursday? Thursdays or Wednesdays? Forget now, I'm lose track.
Wednesday shows where you did the hour and a half rant at the very beginning. That one, for whatever reason, got scheduled as a 18 plus only. I went and I hit the review on it, and they still gave it back to me like 2 seconds later. It wasn't that. It was so fast that they gave it back, and they said no, it's still an 18 plus. I'm like, oh,
well, we know what that means.
Go figure. We know why. We know exactly why. So I don't plan on this one actually not being an 18 plus. I just assume that eventually it would actually happen as well. Real quick, hello Ashley, hello Lady Libra, hello Barton Bella, and I thought there was another one. Mim Z, hello. How are you doing? Go ahead.
Hello. Oh, and again, for those who don't understand about like the YouTube algorithm with 18 plus, they don't like things that are 18 plus at the top of the ratings, because obviously that's a restricted audience. They want full unrestricted audience to get the most out of the advertisements that they put onto the videos. So that's why, and then you get ducked out of the algorithm. You get ducked out of what shows up on people's home feed as well as their search feed. So that's the significance of that. But yes, what we talked about Wednesday again, right? There were already court proceedings that were going on with the National Archives to potentially get, copies of things back. But again, I mean, if there was anything left over that they didn't specify, what should be on the National Archives. And something else that he pointed out, Robert Barnes pointed out today, that I kind of found pretty interesting, was oh crap, hold on a second. Sorry about that. What was pointed out was why does this thing keep popping up? Sorry.
I don't know what's popping up for you.
Oh, it's on my computer.
Hello, Toy Box Brain. Toy Box Brain says straight out, he's 18 plus is not good. Unless your stuff is very raunchy, then you get a couple views. Yeah, exactly. Because when they do that kind of whatever to a channel, they do it on purpose to actually limit it from being viewed. I'm thinking that the thumbnail itself may have been enough because of the words of defund the FBI. So I mean, it is what it is.
Okay,
I mean, it's probably what kicked it out in the so quickly for them to bring it back, because they seriously, within moments, there's no way that they watched the 2 hours and 25 minutes within that time. Nobody sat there and watched it physically. Like, I find it interesting and very funny.
Oh, the thing with that Robert Barnes pointed out, I got that thing close off my computer, was that indeed the FBI, as I did state at the beginning, and as everybody was talking about when this all came out, was that the FBI did in fact court shop this to get to this magistrate so that the magistrate would sign off on it, because he was already an anti-Trump guy.
Right.
So they did. So when they were notified, the time by which they were notified by this supposed insider at Trump's place that Trump had documents and whatever, and they drafted this warrant, and between that time and the time they took it to the judge, that was a fairly significant amount of time. They held on to that for a while. If this was that important, that dire, and that desperate, so that they had to do a complete and total raid, well then, why did they wait so long? Oh, because they wanted to court shop. They wanted to do this court shopping of waiting for a federal district judge, a magistrate, or whoever would be anti-Trump enough to just sign right off on it. And again, as we stated or previously in Wednesday's episode, again, this guy was an anti-Trump guy. He had to end up, he was on the court case between Trump and Hillary, and DNC and like some DNC PACs and stuff like that. And he had to recuse himself, but he was on the case for a decent amount of time until his political bias was pointed out, and at which point he was then almost forced to recuse himself. He didn't want to. So it's not like the judge was recusing himself because, oh, well, he's a good guy. It's like, no, like they had to actually sit there and be like, excuse me, sir, you're a raging batshit lefty. Do you mind like maybe not proceeding over this case? And then he's like, oh, whoops, I kind of forgot about that tweet I sent out yesterday that I hate Donald Trump with a passion of a burning 1,000 suns. And so he ended up recusing himself as a result, obviously. So for the individual the other day prior to that, that when this all came out, that was in our chat, that was insisting upon that, no, this was not court shopping, that no, you didn't say the word magistrate, that no, that's not how this works. You can sit there and pretend you want to, that's how it works, but it doesn't. And getting all sassy. Well, pardon me, who this individual that was in the chat trying to be a smartass about damn well everything, is again, this individual for now shall not be necessarily named unless you know who I'm talking about. As it turns out, I was entirely factually correct. I just didn't throw the word magistrate in at that particular time, but then eventually I did, as things come out. I was a bit tired that day when that was, as was Koolfrogg. But yeah.
That was Tuesday.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Or
that was Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tuesday when we retired. Wednesday we came back and we gave you the hour and a half.
So yeah, the court shopping thing is 100% accurate. Everything that was the word that was going around behind the scenes that I was trying to throw out there, I didn't have everything factually down per se where I could pull up an article about it or whatever. But now we know that it was indeed that way. All the goings on that I was listening to from all these different other sources that I listen to on a daily basis, they were all saying, this is court shopping. This is what happened with this. This is what happened to this. And sure enough, but hey, I'm the down there.
See, Ish's comment.
So anyways.
What I find interesting is 20-plus-year-old kids don't know that Hillary's emails because they have basically wiped them away.
You mean like with a cloth? Wipe?
Yep, just wiped them.
Just wipe them off, with a cloth, right? With a cloth.
Real quick. Hello, JC. Hello, Leslie Cooler. Hello, Black Sheepdog Tony G. Welcome. Everybody, make sure you hit that like button for us. I'm going to quickly read through this article here. So this is a raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago home helps him backfires on Dems. So this is the reason why more than 24 FBI agents have unleashed on former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence on Monday has been revealed, according to late Wednesday report. The Washington Post claimed that, according to an unnamed sources, agents are searching for highly classified documents on nuclear weapons. Not surprisingly, the Post's account didn't provide any specifics regarding whether the alleged documents were about U.S. nuclear weapons or those possessed by other nation. Whatever. Also, the Post report did not reveal what agents actually recovered during the search. Quote, if that is true, it would suggest that material residing unlawfully at Mar-a-Lago may have been classified at the highest classification level.
Which the president
still doesn't
has
matter.
access to. Holy
still
shit.
Doesn't matter.
Because he's the head executive.
Right. He was the head executive. It doesn't matter. He can declassify
it's like,
what
oh
he
my
wants.
God, the president has access to the highest classification. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
He's the president.
He's the president.
What the hell?
just like our current president has
Like what?
the same rights to do.
Oh
Exactly.
my god, he does. Holy shit.
Right. Oh my God, he does. Right. So then if the FBI and the Department of Justice believe that their top secret materials still at Mar-a-Lago that would lend itself to greater hair on fire motivation to recover the material as quickly as possible. The public's clear and powerful interest in understanding what occurred under these circumstances weighs heavily in favor of unsealing. That said, the former president would have an opportunity to respond to this motion and lodge objections, including with regards to any legitimate privacy interests or the potential for other injury if these materials are made public. Only will I not oppose the release of documents related to the un-American, unwarranted, and unnecessary raid and break into my home in Palm Beach, Florida, Mar-a-Lago, I'm going to step further by encouraging the immediate release of these documents, even though they have been drawn up by radical left Democrats and possible future political opponents who have a strong and powerful vested interest in attacking me, much as they have done in the last 6 years.
Whoops!
Hmm.
Looks like some people stepped into a pile of shit they shouldn't have. Pardon my Portuguese. Because now it's just like, oh, you don't want these released? Huh. I wonder why. So, you know what? We're just going to do it all. Screw you.
My poll numbers are the strongest they have ever been. Fundraising by Republican Party is breaking all records, and midterm elections are fast approaching. The unprecedented political weaponization of law enforcement is inappropriate and highly unethical. The world is watching as our country is being brought to a new low, not only on our border, crime, economy, energy, national security, and so much more, but also with respect to our sacred elections. Release the documents now, he concluded. While it is expected that conservatives and all Republicans feel outrage at the raid on the Trump home, Democrats as well are not happy with the actions of the DOJ and FBI. One liberal broadcast host has already spoken out about the results of the government actions. Democrat and HBO host Real Time Bill Maher was furious with the raid because he believed, as this poll showed, that it benefited the former president. If it turns out that Donald Trump has violated the Espionage Act, that is a serious crime, and he should be held in account. If it doesn't turn out to be there were legitimate questions, I think, from the Trump supporters about the different standards applied to Donald Trump that hasn't been applied to Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Hunter Biden, and others. Go figure, because the double standards of hypocrisy is seriously, that's exactly what's going to happen. Is they're going to actually do whatever they want. Like I said earlier, throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. His fortune was finally falling. The big lie was finally losing momentum. DeSantis was beating him in polls. You know, who hates this more than anybody? DeSantis. I had this in the bag, and now I got to run against President Martyr. And this is saving Trump politically because now, of course, all the Republicans, what do? He said correctly, suggesting that the Republicans would rally behind Trump. And now, a poll shows that the FBI raid on President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home has been a benefit to him politically, as many had predicted. Conservative brief reports. A new political morning consult poll showed 10-point swing of some voters from Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as the preferred candidate in 2024 to the former president. Politically, this shows rally around the flag effect among Republicans toward Trump. In mid-July, 53% of Republican voters and Republican-leaning independents said they would vote for Trump in the 2024 primary were being held today. Really? 53% of Republican voters are leaning, said that they would vote for him if they had to vote today? That's a win. That's a big win. Our polling today finds Trump at 57%. The next closest candidate is the Florida Governor DeSantis at 17%, down from 23 in the July poll. So he slumped as being the president to Donald Trump. Why? Because they pulled this bull crap. When you pull bull crap, that's what happens to you. That's exactly what happens.
Yep.
My fan's not working.
Your fan's not working?
No, it's very warm in this room right now. I'm sweating my butt off.
Oh, well, I was about to say your fan's not working. I mean, you know, is it the only fan you have?
Well, it is, but it's just not. It's on. It's just not working the way I would like it to.
You hear that, folks? It's the only fan he has.
Well, no, it's a very good fan. It's just that it's very warm in here today. I think it's because I didn't have the air conditioner on.
It's a pun.
For most of the day. It's a pun. My biggest fan, and it's not working. That's not true. I got 23 people here watching me. They're my biggest fans. I'm telling you right now.
No, it's that. No, okay.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way, for reference sake, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we throw this up here? This is the warrant.
There you go.
For Mar-a-Lago. And let's do a little bit of the zoom up here, shall we? If this is going to let me zoom. What the hell? What is happening to my screen? Why won't it let me zoom? Can I just... Oh, well, maybe... Here, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they have a PDF that I can zoom up on.
Heck yeah. That might work a little bit better. Hello, Short Order Cook. What's up, Gene? Best mod on the planet. Phil says doesn't really tell us a doo-doo, does it? What, I mean, tells us that there's a lot of people that are actually turning around and actually looking back at him again and being like, oh, see what you did? You screwed it up. You screwed it up to the point where now we're going to actually look at, the president of the United States to be actually the president of the United States again. I really see it happening, and as much as some of us is really not positive that he would be the best thing for us, it seems as that he's the best choice at the moment. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Ron DeSantis or Chrissy Noem or any other.
Ron DeSantis is running with Trump. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh. His vice president. Oh yeah.
Shh.
We don't know this. We don't know this for a fact.
No,
and we're not contesting that Joe Biden is the most legitimate president on the planet with the most votes currently. How ridiculous is that?
Ever. How dare you?
Yeah, well, I say currently because you just don't know what's going to come around the corner.
Arrested. Your home will be filled with IRS agents.
I agree, Leslie, but YouTube algorithm doesn't let me say that. Just saying. Because YouTube doesn't like, opposition to their narrative. Stupid. So you're pulling this up, right?
Yes, I am indeed.
Okay, I'm just asking questions.
Oh, it's already I already have it shared.
Oh,
Like
there it is.
Ta-da! So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got this is from Human Events, their website. In the matter of search the seizure warrant. 2, any authorized law officer application by federal law enforcement, Southern District of Florida. You are commanded to execute this warrant on or before August 19th. Duty magistrate, and then of course there's Bruce Reinhardt. Date and time issued August the 5th.
That's an interesting point there, Barton Bella. If the DeSantis Trump ticket actually is a thing, one of them would have to change their residency because they both can't live in Florida at the same time. I would almost assume that Trump would change his address back to New York, or
He'll probably
other,
change it to like Bedminster, New Jersey for a while or something.
or that, or I'm sure he's got some other addresses that he can select from.
Oh, probably. Right. I mean, he's just there because, again, you can't live in New York and be a conservative or a populist, or else you'll get killed. In Minecraft, of course. Right? Anyway.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. So, let's see here. Inventory made, presence of blank, inventory of the property taken, and name of any person seized. Big blank. Declared the penalty of perjury. Inventory, nothing. Premises to be searched, 11 S Ocean Boulevard, 1100 S South Ocean Boulevard, Palm Beach, Florida. There's that number there. Is further described as a resort club residence. 58 bedrooms, 33 bathrooms, 17-acre estate. The locations to be searched include the 45 office, quote unquote, all storage rooms and other rooms or areas within the premises used or available to be used by F. POTUS, former president of the United States, and his staff, in which boxes and papers can be stored, including all structures or buildings on the estate. It does not include areas currently, time of search, being occupied, rented, or used by third parties. Cannot otherwise be used or available to be used by the former president and his staff, private guests on the site. All physical documents and records constituting evidence, contraband, fruits of crime, or other items illegally possessed in violation of 18 U.S.C. And then there's 790, 793, 2071, or 1519, including the following: any physical documents with classification markings, along with any containers, boxes in which such items are located. What? As well as any other containers, boxes that are collectively stored or found together with aforementioned documents, containers, or boxes. Huh? Information including communications in any form regarding the retrieval, storage, or transmission of national defense or information or classified material. But he was the president. Huh? Any government and or presidential records created between January 20th, 2017 and January 20th, 2021. Huh? Any. Let me read that again. Any government and or presidential records created between January the 20th of 2017 when Trump was sworn in and January 20th of 2021 when Biden was sworn in. Anything at all, any paper, any document, any box, any place, anytime, anywhere, all over the estate. But hey, we don't need to go through a process. They just court shop for a judge that's a lefty. And they're like, hey, you don't like Trump. We don't like Trump. Let's raid his house. And he's like, let's do it, baby. And so they did it. Oh, is there anything specified as to what you're going after? Again, the Fourth Amendment requires that you go after a specific crime. It's not just a warrant for you to just go in and just find whatever the hell you want. I mean, again, right? Like, this is due process of law. What you have to do is again, you have to specify as to what you are searching for in accordance with the crime that is being charged. But what crime is being charged? I don't know. Do you know? Did they specify? It's just, hey, anything in here, any boxes, anything that we think would be next to it, or, you know, what we consider to be next to it within the same room. And then they go on to say literally anything. It's like, oh, that's great. How about not? So, receipt for property, description of items, executive grant of clemency to Roger Jason Stone Jr., to Roger Stone. Info from President of France. Leather-bound box of documents. This is what they retrieved, by the way. Again, this is the receipt for the property, right? So this is what they got from their warrant that they issued here, okay? Okay, again, the grant of clemency, which is the pardon that he gave to Roger Stone. Info from the President of France. Leather-bound box of documents. Leather-bound box of documents. What the hell? It's just a leather-bound box of documents. So, Koolfrogg, if you have a leather-bound box of documents in your house, apparently the FBI just has total access to it now. Apparently. Because, again, it's a leather-bound box of documents. Clearly, the FBI has total right and total just authority just to come in and just seize it from you because you're of the wrong political ilk. I mean, that's how crazy and batshit this is. Various classified TSCSI or SSCI documents. Potential presidential record. What? Binder of photos. Photos. They took photos from his home. Handwritten note. What the hell? Box labeled A1. Is that where he keeps the A1 steak sauce in the box? Box labeled A15. Miscellaneous secret documents. Box labeled miscellaneous secret documents. What the hell? Box labeled A16. Miscellaneous top secret documents. Box labeled. Miscellaneous top secret documents. Box labeled. Miscellaneous confidential documents. Here goes more. Box labeled. Miscellaneous secret documents. Box. Confidential document. Confidential? What the hell? Confidential? Confidential says who? Box. Miscellaneous secret documents. Box. Miscellaneous. Box. Miscellaneous. And there you go. And again, there's Christina Bobb. She actually got a copy of it, which again, all they did with Christina Bobb when she was there, again, Christina Bobb is President Trump's lawyer, or one of his lawyers. She goes down there, she demands, hey, where's your warrant? And they say, no, we're not going to show it to you. And then then when they leave, they show up to her. They're just like, oh, by the way, here's the warrant. They flash it in her face, and they just take it back down and go. It's like, can I have a copy? No. And then, oh, well, afterwards, okay, now you can have a copy. Okay. receipt for property, documents, box label, box label, box label, box, 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 and that's it. So boxes, leather bound thing, boxes, handwritten notes, the pardon for Roger Stone, or one of the documents related to that, photos, binder of photos. So, yeah. In other words, this is nothing but a total horseshit raid looking for something. And of course, the most evidential theory, in my humble opinion, is the one that Barnes is presenting, which is that they're looking for something special, and it has to do with Spygate, and it has to do with Operation Crossfire Hurricane against Donald Trump before he even came into office, and also has other things to do with other documents of other sorts. Which now, according to the article that you just read off, Trump is now saying, "Hey, why not just put it out to the public then? Let's do it. Screw these people." So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we got.
So then, right.
A whole bunch of
So
nothing.
then,
Whole
to
bunch
go
of
right
shit.
along with that warrant, there you go. Merrick Garland caught hiding 3-day delay in execution of Trump warrant.
Oh,
Attorney
what?
General Merrick Garland made a public statement concerning the warrant used to search for the Trump home in Florida. Information on the warrant calls into question the statement made by Garland in that speech, namely the time frame between issuing the warrant and the actual search. Garland announced that his public remarks on Thursday that the Department of Justice had moved to unseal the warrant and inventory list of the documents obtained from the raid. Trump indicated that the public statements on Thursday in that he would support such a move and wants the documents out in public. It is expected these documents, now unsealed, will be made public by the court soon. Breitbart News obtained the documents, including the warrant, as well as 2 accompanying attachments specifically or specifying terms for the warrant and a property receipt outlining the inventory federal agents seized from Mar-a-Lago. Excerpts from the Breitbart report in the document state the first receipt lists out 28 numbered items, including some of the subheaders. Some of the items are actually named, like item number 1, which says it was an executive grant of clemency for Roger Jason Stone Jr. Or 1A, which says it is info on the president of France. Others, like items number 2, are less specific. The item says that it's a leather-bound box of documents, just like you were pointing out. Look at that, number 3, number 7. The rest of the receipt document is similar and unspecific, explaining that several boxes, some allegedly containing various documents in various classifications, were among the rest of the items the FBI seized per this receipt. Why would they be taking items and documents that don't pertain to anything at all? If they're unspecified and they're unclassified, they're not theirs. There's nothing that they should have been able to take out of this, but they did what they did anyway. How ridiculous is this leftist freaking bullcrap that they're pushing? Serious. When Merrick Garland can get caught hiding a 3-day delay, there's something wrong with this whole administration. The whole damn administration needs to be gone, removed immediately.
And the other thing too is that I initially said that the FBI went in with guns blazing. No, they didn't. They actually went in broad daylight with their warrant in plain clothes, and they went through the whole residence in plain clothes. So, but they brought a lot of equipment and other things with them as well. And again, I was listening to somebody who had stated that they had talked to somebody just recently who had retired a month prior to this from last Monday. And this individual said as much equipment that they brought to Mar-a-Lago that it seems reasonable to him that they bugged the place. They sufficiently bugged the place. They set it all up to be bugged. But one of the other aspects of this again, right, is that they came in with plain clothes and everything, and what it seems as though it is that they were not planning on getting caught. Trump was away. The place was pretty well vacant. Nobody else was there. They went in. Nobody told anybody until several hours after they were already there. And it wasn't until several hours after they were already there. Again, they spent a total of 9 hours there going through everything in that entire residence and the entire club, the entire estate. And they didn't tell Trump's lawyers. They didn't tell anybody that they were there. Nobody was supposed to know. They were supposed to be quick warrant, quick sign off, go in, see if we can grab what we want and get out. And we're just going to write it and we're just going to go for it. Because they are deathly afraid that Donald Trump has something on them. And this is the most, in my opinion, probably the most logical opinion that's floating around now about what this all is really about. Trump has something on them that he kept from the prior administration that they don't want the public to know fully about. And they're scared to death. And so they would risk this kind of backfire that's happened now because they want to so bad try to get these documents back.
I'm like, where the heck? There's a bunch of people that normally watch that aren't watching. Where the heck are they? Hello, Space Power Monkey. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm like looking around. Yeah, I found them all.
Oh, and the other aspect of this is as well, it's like it's not that they lost a copy of these things. It's just that they don't want this copy in Trump's hands. So they want that copy that Trump has back. They already have plenty of these copies. I mean, like I said, the government has plenty of copies of everything. But rather, it's that they don't want anyone else to know about this. They don't want Trump to have it especially. And so they went in there unannounced to anybody else. They didn't tell the property owner. They didn't tell the lawyers of the property owner. Again, Trump. They didn't say anything to anybody but the Secret Service agents that were there at the gate, flashed the warrant, and they just let them roll right in and do whatever the hell they wanted. And it wasn't until they got word from, I guess, some workers or somebody else there that like, hey, the place is being raided by the FBI. And then it gets back to Trump. And then Trump is like, oh my God, gets in contact with a lawyer. And then the lawyer goes on the scene and the FBI had already been there for hours and hours. So that's how batshit this was. And that's why, in my humble opinion, and in the opinion of some other individuals as well, that Merrick Garland came out and said the things that he said. They had to come out with all these cover stories and bullcrap, and then the next day it's like, oh, well, yeah, it gets you the war. Merrick Garland up there practically peeing himself, having to give some sort of a response to this because they didn't want anybody to know. I mean, they're done. They just stepped into a pile of crap that they didn't need to step in. And, well, now we're seeing the repercussions of it. And everybody is turning on their side, or on Trump's side, and turning against them. Everybody sees this egregious violation just because it's like, oh, we want to just raid the home and go through everything and just get whatever the hell we want. Now, there is a clip. I'm going to look at this again just to make sure that we could play this. But if you have something else, go ahead. It's from, pardon me. It is from the former police commissioner of New York underneath of Rudy Giuliani, talking about his concern about the potential assassination of Trump at this point, which I think everybody should be thinking about, looking at, and praying about as well. Very much.
Sports.
But
it's not that. It's I was looking for particular people and I found them. They're having a party. That's what's going on.
Partay.
Yeah, there's a little drinking party going on somewhere, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's fine. It's fine. I wish if they're having at that party that they would at least jump in here and hit the like button for me. Go back to their party. I'm totally fine with that. I don't really care. I'm just
go
like
back
where the
to your
heck is my
bro.
my lead mod? And I'm like, where is he? He's like this is just weird. I'm having to actually accept and go through things myself, and I'm like oh, I get it. No, I know. There's a bunch of people that are here, and I love you all for being. Thank you so much. I'm asking these other ones that are sitting in this party if they can actually come over and just hit the like button. They can go away. They can go back to doing their own party. I'm fine with it. I like it. And I don't care about their drinking party. It's fun. I enjoy it. I just, I'm just asking them to, because I'm sure somebody's watching, somebody's listening. Just come and hit the like button for me. That's all I ask. Go back to doing what you're doing. So, I really don't have much more. I really didn't. I was busy all day. So, as far as that goes, because it's Sunday, I'm going to spend time with my family when I can. I'm not going to sit there and dig through articles. I did see somebody said something about the dog that had come down with the pox of the monkey. Says that the parents were actually of the current community that spreads it widely. Found it very interesting. Like, really, a dog? It's like, well, you guys, you still have to wash your hands. You still have to be clean about things, because, when a dog comes down with it, it's kind of scary. Like I said, I really didn't have much. I just had a couple things for Trump. What are we at? We're almost an hour. How's everybody doing? Should we dig around, look for some more?
I got this clip here. This is from Sebastian Gorka's show on Newsmax that he does on the weekend, which Newsmax is not all that fantastic, but they are cable. I think they're cable, right? They are cable. I know you can get them on like free TV things on like the Roku and whatever, things like that. So this is 5 minutes of a clip.
A man who knows law enforcement like the blood flowing in his veins is the former commissioner of police for New York. And he tweeted this after the Mar-a-Lago raid. And he used that word that we don't like to use in politics. In history, sure, but not in politics. He used the word assassination. Will they go that far? Are they that desperate to stop the man who right now could win the next election? Well, let's talk to the 40th Commissioner of New York. He is a great patriot. Bernie Kerik, welcome to the Gorka Reality Check.
Thanks, Sebastian.
All right, before we get to your tweet, as you know, you've spent time in the U.S. Army as a military police officer, then you've served as a police officer, rising up the ranks to commissioner. You have worked intimately with the FBI for decades. Will you qualify, will you react to what the FBI did at Mar-a-Lago? Give us your professional take.
Honestly, I can't even, I have no words for what they did. Some inconsequential paperwork, some possible classified documents that were secured. I don't know what they think their justification was, but I can tell you this was unprecedented, number one. And number two, this is something, Sebastian, that happens in third world nations, right? Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, places like that. We see it in dictatorships like Russia and China. But here's my fear, and this was the reason for my tweet. In those places, the opposition is attacked politically. If they can't get to them politically, they imprison them. If they can't imprison them, they kill them. You know, when you list that litany of attacks on Donald Trump, from before he was elected, they were calling for his impeachment. The mere running, they were calling for his impeachment before he ever got elected. They have impeached. They have investigated. They have targeted criminally, civilly in states, in different states, not only New York, but Georgia and other states. Guess what? What happens? What happens if they can't stop him from running? That's what this is all about. This is all about stopping him from running in 2024. They're going to do anything and everything in their power. This raid was one of those things. But what happens if they can't imprison him? What happens if they can't stop him politically? I fear that someone, somewhere, is going to be told to do something that could be a historical nightmare for this country.
And I would like to mention here that if you believe that this could potentially happen to Donald Trump for these sorts of reasons, by people perhaps allegedly inspired or directed allegedly by people supposedly in government, allegedly in Minecraft, of course, might I suggest to you that if you don't believe that if you don't believe the side that suggests that perhaps these same types of individuals, perhaps allegedly in Minecraft, Minecrafted JFK in the head, I don't really see how you can hold the perspective that, oh, this is the first time that type of thing has ever crossed these people's mind. Because like if you're alleging that they would go this far, I mean, we already have an example of this allegedly in Minecraft, supposedly. Right? So I would suggest not necessarily these two individuals here. Perhaps they do, perhaps they don't believe things of that nature. I don't know. But I would say that it's a logical and fallacy to go off and now suggest this in the current day when these places have been corrupt for a very long time, for vast amounts of decades now. Allegedly, supposedly in Minecraft, something like this has happened before. To suggest it now, to bring it up now, wouldn't be all that much of a stretch for these individuals, now would it? But, of course, in the more modern day, people don't necessarily, go that far in their thinking. But I'm assuming that these two individuals do not believe that narrative of JFK's boom boom, but the couple of boom booms, again, it was allegedly only one, supposedly. But these two individuals, I'm assuming they don't actually believe that narrative of that. But what I am suggesting, of course, again, is that if you're going to take this position now, the FBI hasn't been this blatantly corrupt for a long time. Now, there has been blatant corruption underneath the scenes, or behind the scenes, but this level, at the level they're doing it now, and the desperation they're showing now, I mean, you going to put anything past them? Or certain individuals, or, people that they might inspire? I mean, they've already inspired all these terrorista attacks and things of this nature. They've already brought these things, about. They've literally created them from the ground up, where there was no terrorista action going on. They created it, literally created it. The FB freaking I created it. I mean, how long does this government corruption have to go on before people begin to realize, oh shit, this is really deep and really bad, and we need to do some major overhaul here? But again, just throwing that idea out there. Let's get back to this guy's statements. Again, he's former police commissioner of New York City underneath of Mayor Rudy Giuliani there. Let's finish the clip.
And it scares me to death.
Or it could be like what happened to a man who the King of England simply said to his knights, he asked the rhetorical question, who will rid me of this troublesome priest? And of course, we know what happened to Thomas à Becket. I have to ask you, somebody who's fought for the truth, who's served in uniform, who's helped clean up the events of 2020. Right now, they're going to try and take him down again and again and again. If he survives, if he runs, he will become the president. But doesn't this raid, Bernie, doesn't this make him right now stronger than he's ever been? Or am I biased?
No, no, you're not biased. Listen, it makes him stronger than ever for this one reason. This is another, the only word I can think is vetting, right? This is another vetting in Donald Trump's history. This is the most vetted president in world history. He's the most vetted politician in any country in world history because he's been investigated to the moon and back. And guess what? Still, so far, they have found nothing.
And that is significant. If they would have something on Trump, if Trump is as criminal as the left constantly alleges, they would have already hung him by a noose by his neck in Minecraft, of course. But yet they haven't done anything like this. They haven't done anything like this. He is absolutely 100% accurate on this. He is the single most vetted individual that has ever run for political office. Because they've investigated him 1,000,001 times, and then just for fun, on the weekends, they sit around and they investigate him some more because they hate him so much. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Constantly, every single day, ever since he announced he was running, going down the escalator.
Nothing. And it's going to continue. But what happens? What happens? What happens when they have nothing? What happens when he announces? And I got to be honest, Sebastian, I've known the president a long time. I was dying for him to come out the day after the raid, go over to Trump Tower, get on that escalator, come down the escalator and say, we're going back to the White House. Do it again.
You're not the only one. My good buddy Jim Hansen, Green Beret, was the first one to text me. He's gotta announce tomorrow. That was the night of the raid. So that escalator will be historic again. God bless you, sir. His autobiography is stunning. I couldn't put it down. It's called The Lost Son. You've got to read the commission.
What's up, Jimmy YouTube?
Oh, hey. Yo. So pray for the president, pray for the people around him, for God's sake, because this is it's a total possibility that they try and do that. I know in the more modern day, because see, back in the time of JFK, they could allegedly, supposedly, in Minecraft, again, for YouTube's sake, do that kind of thing to JFK and get away with it because there's no cameras on every street corner. There's no this kind of surveillance that businesses and other people do. There's nothing, you know what I mean? Like things would eventually get out, right? Like there's more of a risk for this sort of undercover type stuff going on in the modern day than there was back then, where you could just, put on a pair of glasses and put up an umbrella and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like not everybody had a cell phone. Not everybody had a camera on their person. Now everyone has a camera on their person, which is a blessing and also a curse. But in this case, it would be a blessing for us because, hey, somebody tries to go around, somebody tries to do something, we know there's enough of a record on most people on the internet that if they were to try to get some sort of, a patsy, allegedly, right? We would easily be able to look up their records. All the autists on 4chan could do that, like they did with the Hunter Biden iPhone leaks. So it's not like back then where they could just haul off and do whatever. As time has progressed, people have become suspicious and more aware and whatever. And so this has to be very, very, very covert. But even then, if they went as far as assassination, I mean, you'd have to be really tight and really sealed on that. I mean, you'd have to, I mean, I don't know how exactly any of that would take place. I don't know how any of that would happen because, again, as I said, it is so bad to do that because everybody has a camera. Everybody's going to be recording. Everybody's going to be looking around and being like, well, who's that guy? Well, what's this? What's it? I mean, that's going to be so difficult to even try and do that. But I would not put it past them to do it. And same with this guy, what he's talking about. We would not put it past them. And as well, Biden, they don't want Biden around. This is why I keep saying impeach Joe Biden now before they try and get rid of him, because that's what they want to do. They want to assassinate Biden, blame it on our side, the MAGA side, and then claim us all to be terroristas and Russian, bots and Russian, disinformation whores, and we just love Russia so much and whatever. We're just terroristas, even though we haven't declared war on Russia. Somehow we're an enemy of Russia. Okay, but we won't declare China an enemy. No, but Russia, that we can declare them an enemy even when we're not declared war against them. Weird. But they'll try to loop people into that, or half of us into that, or however many of us into that as well. And then they'll try to create us all to be terroristas and then try to throw us all in prison or force us all into another political party and so forth. I mean, this is what they want. This is what they're going to push for. Or they're going to do a boom boom against Trump, a boom boom against Biden, and then turn both sides against each other and raise holy hell. Which, by the way, a boom boom against any one of the two by themselves would be enough to do that. But if you do both, that would be holy hell. But see, what we have to do is surpass that mode of thinking, ladies and gentlemen, of that sort of dichotomy of thought of, well, it's either the lefties doing it or some corruptos in the FBI. It's like, no, like this is a globalist operation. These people are working for other individuals above them. I mean, Bill Clinton said it himself, like, why can't Russia join NATO? Why can't we have an alliance somehow? Oh, no, we can't do that. Bill Clinton says this is way above my pay grade because there's people above him, according to him himself, Bill Clinton. I mean, that's back in 2000. I mean, Biden is an absolute puppet. Who the hell do you think he's a puppet for? I mean, it's the globalist people at the top. It's the elites. It's all these individuals. We have to surpass this dichotomy of thinking of, well, my lefty neighbor is my enemy. No. Your enemy is the globalist elite people that are trying to chessboard this whole thing out for their own benefit. That's what we have to look at this as. We can't look at this as, oh, the lefty FBI, oh, the lefty DOJ, or no. The lefties are put in there and controlled. These people are globalists. They are globalist puppets. They work for them. And so when Biden gets removed, however he gets removed, they want to try to, I believe, and many people say this, they want to try to lionize him, get rid of him somehow in a violent way, and then, blame it on the one side of the political aisle, and then, go after us. And it wouldn't be, I don't know if it would be like snap, and boom, bang, pow, and then everything's this, and then they would go after us like the next day. But that's still the plan, however long that takes. If it's a month after Biden gets the boom boom or whatever, they're going to try to blame us and our side for that when it's them the whole time. And you have to see that, right? You can't just be like, how dare you accuse us of doing that? Well, that's not everybody on our side. Not everybody agrees with that kind of like violent perspective. No. You have to reject all of this outright. You have to come out before it all happens. You have to see this for what it is. You have to get into these people's heads a little bit. And you have to think like, oh God, like these people probably pull something like this. And you have to get out ahead of the story. You have to get out ahead of it like they do. And you have to combat them on that same level that they're at. These globalist people are at, because they're planning things out for months on end. You just can't sit here and plan things out for a week in advance of like, well, the raid on Mar-a-Lago, whatever. It's like, okay, yes, we got that. We've covered that all. And that is great. But now let's not forget Mar-a-Lago, but let's also look ahead a little bit beyond the end of our own nose and our own Fox News hour for some individuals over there. And let's look beyond the end of our own nose, like this guy was doing, like I just played the clip of, which is what else would they pull too? Right? Like we have to start thinking, ladies and gentlemen. You have to start putting your thinking caps on here. And you have to start questioning. You have to start thinking seriously. And you have to think to yourself, oh my golly, they want to get rid of Biden, but they also want to get rid of Trump. How would this happen? They also would love nothing more than a civil war. They would love nothing more than people to turn against each other in this country and to go crazy. How are they going to do that? Well, they would try to go boom boom against both of them and send both sides at each other like crazy. Oh, Jimmy is requesting a link in his in his own unique way.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. I was going to send him one real quick.
But we have to look at this from their perspective as well.
An issue finding him.
Yeah. But folks, we got to look at it from that perspective. We got to look at it from their perspective, knowing who these people are, knowing that Biden is controlled. He's a puppet. Garland's a puppet. These people are all puppets. These people are all put there, and they're all being controlled. This is a total overreach.
Check your Discord, Jimmy.
But again, we have to think about, what are the ramifications of this and what is to come in the future. And we got to
admin is in the brain. How do you figure? Where's the brain? Ain't nobody have brain. Oh, it's fine, Sunshine. Welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, as well as everybody else.
Yeah. So we have to surpass this way of thinking of like it's all the lefties. It's like, okay, yes, lefties are a problem, but they're not that kind of a problem to that extent per se, right? Like they're not the actual enemy here. They're being thrusted at the rest of us. They're being thrusted at our republic. We have to look at the actual people who are perpetrating this against us, and we have to see them for who they are, and we have to do things MLK style. We have to do things Dutch style, Netherlands style, and we can't go the Sri Lankan route, which is to go after the government and topple it. But in our case, it would be civil war, then topple government, and then institute whatever the hell they want. And of course, again, what it's going to be for us is that they believe that our side would be the side that would lose in this hypothetical head-to-head. And they would then win out. And that's what they want. So we have to think above this sort of modality of, oh my golly, the lefties are doing everything. Like your leftist neighbor is somehow to blame for one thing or another. They're not. It's the people at the top. And you have to see it in that fashion. And you have to respond accordingly. And you have to really respond accordingly now, knowing what they might do. And you have to get out in front of it. And you have to do your best in every form and facet yourself, politically and otherwise, to put a stop to it, to let everybody know that this is a possibility and that just to be awake and aware of what's going on. So you're not fooled into doing one thing or another, basically, or into thinking one thing or another, or alleging one thing or another. You know what's up and you know what's going on. So, hello, comrade. You are muted, comrade. Your mic is not working, comrade.
Your settings are not working, comrade. Try again, comrade.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, there you are. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's good?
Long time no see. How's?
Yeah, no kidding. Been since last night.
Yeah. You did show up for a little bit. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
did you get
2 words out?
Me, unfortunately. Yeah, I got a few words out. A few words. It's a good time.
There were so many people there. It was ridiculous. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're missing shirts though. That was unfortunate. Did he show up later? Or?
Nope, he didn't. He explained himself. He was detoxing himself of electronics for the weekend.
Ah, I see.
It's smart to do sometimes.
Yeah.
I just
Sometimes
turned
you
it in.
should just do that. I have
Just
a
listening-
tendency to sleep too much when I do that.
Well, and I shouldn't say all electronics per se, but I
Cool
was
Mims.
going away from most like normal stuff, like social media stuff, and I turned on some audiobooks that I was trying to listen to about different topics and things, and just kind of going away from everything for a while, just because of other stuff that was going on as well.
Reading in some way or another is just really good to do.
Yeah. As long as you're not looking at the electronic device while you're doing it. You should grab a paper book and flip through that.
Or if
That's
you can
usually
follow
best.
along with a ebook, something.
Sure.
Sure.
Shirts, how do you feel about the IRS army?
Was it like 7,000? Because or the total altogether was like
7,000 people.
7. No, it was like
7,000
7,000 people per state. I don't remember how that math worked out or whatever, but it was like there's so many more thousand of IRS agents per state that were going to be dumped into and armed.
Oh,
I
thank you,
forgot.
Gene.
That's right. Marjorie Taylor Greene filed impeachment articles against Merrick Garland,
She did.
and she's gotten a bunch of other Republicans in the House to go along with that. So, hooray,
Sitting there
hoorah!
skimming
Probably
through
won't make it
articles. I
anywhere,
seen
but
that. I'm like, oh.
hey, at least we're getting the ball rolling. And see, that's what I want done with Biden. Do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? If you pay attention to that, she came on and she said, hey, this is crazy. This is insane. We need him impeached. And there was a bunch of other Republicans that signed on to it now, to Merrick Garland. Let's beef it up to Joe Biden here, ladies and gentlemen, before they do the boom, boom.
Yeah, right. I
We
see
need
that
to
Rand
come out
Rand
now
Paul
and
did something as
criminalize
well.
this.
Rand
Make sure
Paul's
people
trying to get rid of that
understand the criminal
espionage
activity
shit.
that's going on.
Joe
Oh,
Biden's
yeah.
just the scapegoat fall guy. It's not like he really does anything.
But he's still in the way. Like that's the whole point. Like he's still there.
Right.
Like we
but
need
he gets out of
action now.
power,
Right.
and somebody worse comes in.
We get rid of them too.
And
I mean,
then
that's the modality we have to take here. That's the action we got to take in the
I
Congress.
feel like we just need to get out in the streets all angry and shit like the SJWs do. Like, why don't we do that shit?
More like
I know it would start a war if we did, but maybe that's
let's
what
do
it's
it like the
just gonna take.
Dutch people, not the SJWs.
Right. I mean, because
Let's do it
SJW
like,
people get mad, they get
Sri
violent, they
Lankans
slap
or-
people. They
Who are the people that took over their government again? That was great. Let's do that.
Well, they took over their government. It was all good and all, but then they went and they elected and put in place somebody that was tied to the World Economic Forum. So really, are they doing any better? Not really.
right. They don't have a plan. They just they
Could
just
it-
get
right.
angry and they riot and they go crazy and then they burn everything down. Then it's just like, oh hey, here's this guy.
Well,
He'll
see,
help
if you
you
burn
out.
everything down, you have nothing to live in. So hold off
Well,
on that.
right. What we need to do is do the MLK route. We need to do the Dutch route, and that
Yes.
kind of street protest where we put out our crosses.
I say the
put out
Dutch route. Let's take out our farm equipment
and that too.
and manure spreaders and
I'll get my hose.
spraying people with manure because that would
Yes.
be awesome.
Spray the IRS agents that are walking around like, oh yeah, we're just to spray them down with manure.
That would be like, I don't know. They'd definitely arrest you for that. That's they'd get infected and shit.
Oh, that would
Sounds
still be
good.
worth it though.
They'd be like, I still stink like I always did. Thank you.
Well, right,
Das
exactly.
Poop.
It's not like they didn't smell before. I mean, let's be honest.
Friggin' Nazis.
Oh, Leslie says, "What's the Dutch route?" Well, that's what we're explaining. They would take
Yeah.
out their farm equipment, and everybody would get on the streets. Everybody would get out. Everybody would wake up. Everybody would realize this. They'd be calling out the World Economic Forum. They'd be calling out Klaus Schwab. They'd be calling out Bill Gates. They'd be calling out all these people. They'd be calling out all these globalist hackies, and they'd be getting out there, and they'd be calling people out for being puppets, and they would call them for what they were, full awake, totally aware, and just naming names and out on the street and force everybody, signs, t-shirts, everything.
JMK, pink eye them all.
Oh, the crap. LOL.
Is that a rare Pepe, JMK? Oh my gosh, more people need Pepe. There should be a Pepe resurgence.
But that's the Dutch threat, is to get the tractors out, because it's the farmers, it's the other people. They got to get out.
But they
Because
don't
it's
Not
do or
just take
die.
out the tractors. They actually armored some of those. That was
Oh, yeah.
so cool to see. It's like, yes, do that.
They're already shit dumping on the farmers. They don't care about them. They don't care if they get mad. Look what's happening to them.
Well, and that's
Oh,
why
but-
they're up in arms and doing what they're doing, is because of what they're doing to them. They're like, fine, we'll just riot. We'll use our equipment for other things, like spraying manure all over the people, all over the
Fuck it, I'll go make a killdozer.
everywhere.
Well, no, not a killdozer. It's they're in the roads, they're in the streets, they're getting all of this public support from everybody, and everybody's out, and that's what we need to do, and that's what's going to cause a lot of change, because this is what we got, less than that kind of reaction with the COOF stuff in all these major countries, and we got them to shut down that and to stop it, at least for now, at least for a while. I mean, that's big. Like, they wanted to
They're
keep
still on
that
the
on.
same shit though. Like now they're doing the monkeypox.
Well, yeah, they're coming back, but you just got to keep that. You got to hold the line. You got to keep that result. I mean, that's what this is. It's not just like, oh, well, I guess, we want our freedom for today. Let's all go back home. It's like, no, like this is a political and socioeconomic war. Like, you have to stay on the front lines. You have to stay aware. You have to stay alert. You have to be vigilant in this. And if the time would require that, hey, we're all getting out, we're all protesting, we're all doing a march, we're all doing a whatever, play a part. Now, don't do Fed stuff. I mean, decipher Fed boys from, normal people.
Yeah,
which
if
I
they're
think
asking you to
we've
go
really
shoot up a
begun.
town square, maybe they're Fed.
Probably. I would make a safe bet that's Fed. I'd make a really safe bet that that's a Fed.
Yeah.
In fact, the Fed at this point will probably go off and try and commit something like that, and then haul off and try to tell you to do it. Then when you say yes, they're like, see, he did it. What?
So how does this work with DeSantis? Because you were talking about the assassination possibility on Mr. Trump.
Spicy.
And I was curious, so how does this work? Does this mean that the government bodies cannot operate whatsoever in Florida? Anywhere?
Huh?
Like for anything?
Huh?
Well, DeSantis, he did some sort of thing to keep all the feds out, right?
What?
Not positive on that.
Explain.
Like, and that's why
You
Trump
have some
needs-
explaining to do.
Well, this is like in conjunction with Trump getting his own private bodyguards now.
He always did have his own bodyguards. So I mean,
Well,
as far as
sure,
that
but,
goes, he never got rid of his
now it's
own
solely
detail.
that.
Even though he got social, he's got
You got social services. Yeah.
no, I though he got detail from the government, he had his own detail, and he never got rid of them. There were still some around. So he's double covered. He's seriously, there's so many people, and his own guys are better than what the detail that the government gave him. Well, they were.
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what he did. If it was like an executive order of some kind, but he did something, and now feds aren't allowed to operate in some variety in Florida.
I was just looking through to see if I could actually find something.
Yeah, I
But
am
this
too.
is Koolfrogg. Gateway pundit is a self-deletion of older brother of one of the. Yeah, I seen that. That was very disturbing. The young man lost his brother in Afghanistan, decided to actually go and off himself at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers.
Oh, jeez. Ooh, hey guys, food's ready. I'll be back.
All right,
Oh,
I
well,
see.
I see how it is.
Yeah,
We both said that at the same time.
just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go eat. All right. Did you
And
bring me
again-
some?
I'm
Yeah,
bringing it
exactly.
back. I'll share with the gang. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I was just about to say the exact. It's Koolfrogg. We have this synchronism now. We got this down.
Oh no. I'm digging through some recent articles or whatever just to see just look up DeSantis real quick just to see if there's anything that come up with was actually speaking of. And I don't see anything specifically stating such a thing. I just don't. So I really don't know. That'd be interesting if that was the case, that he actually signed something saying the FBI can't do anything. They can't come into the state of Florida.
I mean,
That'd be
hell, do like
hilarious.
they did with that ATF agent from that clip from the Salty Cracker that was flying around there a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
where the ATF agent was arrested by local law enforcement because he was going batshit. You know, trying to go after people and whatever. And, you know, it's like he's trying to go into this guy's home and it's like, hey, you know, this guy is impersonating a police officer telling me that he has this authority when he doesn't. And the police was like, oh, he doesn't have this authority? Okay. He's like, no, you can't come after me. I have a medical condition. He sits there and starts off with like, I'm an ATF agent. I'm a federal government. I have my badge. You can't do anything about me. You gotta do. I have a medical condition. Don't hurt me. On the ground. It's the funniest crap. Oh my god. I mean, that's what you need to do right there. When the feds overstep their boundaries like that, you know, they have the right to do that. Oh, and by the way, if you see there was training photos taken from the IRS that is training people, and on their uniforms, and if I can pull up this photograph, it says police.
Oh.
It says police. IRS is not the police, ladies and gentlemen. IRS does not have the power of police.
Oh, they got more. I'm sure they're not walking around with a little sidearm and a taser. I'm sure they got more than that.
Well, but still, right? Like they have their like big bold letters on the front and the back, right? Police, police, and then at the bottom it says IRS. You know, criminal investigative enforcement, whatever. And in their acronym there, it's like, oh, but you don't say IRS, you say police. That's impersonating an officer, ladies and gentlemen. They are not an officer that has law enforcement power. The only thing the IRS has been tasked to do is to take your money, not to arrest you, charge you with a crime, police you. They don't have police power, so they can't claim to be police, but yet they are. This is absolute violation of the Constitution, total tyranny. If I can find these pictures.
I mean, yeah, I get that they're not police because you know they really aren't. They're IRS agents. Did you see the regulation or the job posting and
Yep.
what they're actually looking for? So it's like you have to actually be able to be armed, as well as you know multiple other things that were going on. So it's like if you needed to be armed or be able to be certified to be armed. I don't know what kind of
Yeah, they said shoot to kill.
right. Well, I mean,
That's what
how
they said.
How far are they going to go? I mean, when it comes down to it, because I mean, if they're going to go to the point of actually just you know being like, oh, he owes on his taxes, bam, done. It's like, well, are you going to actually, is it just going to be somebody that resists, or is it actually going to be you're going to go after them, you're going to look at them, you're going to try obtaining them to file their taxes and get that done, so that way you did pay your due. I really don't get how far they're going to really try going with this. Are they
Why
just
else?
going to immediately see you and be like, done?
Why else would they get so many people so trained if they weren't ready to do something aggressive?
And again, it's going to be the other side of the political aisle. I mean, let's just be very clear. I mean, every time the IRS has been weaponized, it's always been against the freedom-loving side of the aisle. And this is the other way in which they're going to try to not only do some sort of civil war type of thing that they want to try to spark.
Debbie,
they would love nothing more than that. But, to again, criminalize their political opponents, another means by which to do that, and then take the money from them and then give it to themselves, the feds. They'll sell off your property for the assets that they're worth to some big mega corporation. And so it's just feeding back into that same Leviathan monster, this Leviathan globalist monster that created them to start with. Either way, whether they keep it or they sell it off. And so you can see here.
Barton Bell, the way I took it is all 87,000 new agents will have the right to actually seize and come after you with, weaponry. So, I mean, it's really, if they're not trained properly, which obviously looks like they're training, but they're learning how to shoot a weapon. Are they?
And this is from their annual report from this year.
Do they also know how to actually help you file
sweetheart.
your taxes if you were, deficient on that, or are they just,
Oh no, and
You
see, that's
didn't
the other
pay.
thing
Boom, done.
with the IRS, right? I mean, it's like, if you don't file it correctly, or if you get a misnomer or whatever wrong, I mean, some of these people in the IRS will just go batshit against you. I mean, people that have dealt with the IRS know this. I mean, they are completely ruthless criminals who will do anything and everything to steal as much from you as possible. That's who the IRS is. That's what these people are. There is no good or decent person for the IRS. It doesn't exist. I'm sorry. It just doesn't exist.
Gangsters with a badge.
Basically. And you can see here, look, they say police. Well, you don't have police power. You can't arrest me and charge me with a crime. The only thing you can do is say that I didn't file my taxes correctly. Well, that's not a criminal offense that you can shoot me down with or hold me in handcuffs or drag me away. Like, that's
But
not.
they will.
But right, exactly. That's what they're wanting to do. And you can see this here again, right? Police, they're impersonating an officer. So what everybody needs to understand is that if these people come to your door claiming, or one or two of these people, or three of them come to your door, or however many, and they say, hey, these people are here claiming that they're here for taxes, but they have police on. They're impersonating officers, and they're coming at me telling me about taxes. Like, can I get a local sheriff down here? And we'll ATF their ass. And that's
so real quick. Here's I just like
local law enforcement.
Does the IRS have police force? It says, "Who are we?" Criminal investigation is the law enforcement branch of the IRS. Our mission is to serve the American public by investigating potential criminal violations of the Internal Revenue Code and related financial crimes in a manner that fosters confidence in the tax system in compliance with the law. So, criminal investigation, they are technically law enforcement of the IRS.
But to do what? I mean, again, they're not. Again, what are they going to do? They can't charge you with the crime.
Just to right. I mean,
they don't
investigate
go through court proceedings.
Only to investigate potential criminal violations.
Right.
So if they're there to investigate, why do they need the sidearm? If they're investigating and they find out that you're not compliant,
exactly,
they're there to actually arrest you and make you do what you're intending to do.
Right. Taxes and tax evasion is not worthy of shooting somebody over at all. legally in underneath our Constitution in the United States. I mean, it's not like it's some sort of
I mean, I get it.
druggie
Everybody should
who-
pay their taxes, but
well, right. But I mean, it's not like some druggie or like drug lord person who's like has all these illegal drugs and pulls out an AK and just starts like blaring up the place. I mean, it's just somebody in their home that didn't file their taxes correctly. This is completely unjustified use of force. And that's what I'm saying. There is no justifiable police power that these people wield. None whatsoever. So they come to your door with police on all everywhere. It's like, you're not police. You have no police power. You have no authority as a police officer. You're an IRS enforcement agent.
and that's the interesting one, though, is because when you actually look deeper at it, it says the IRS Criminal Investigation is the 6th largest law enforcement agency in the U.S.
Soon to be the
Special
first.
agents investigate
Literally.
criminal tax violations and other related financial crimes, name money laundering, bank secrecy, national security, and national defense matters. So, I mean, they're really kind of pushing it to the point where they're like, oh, we actually have power to come into and do what we want. Now, do you remember a week ago or so when, or maybe it was 2, there was an ATF agent that had showed up at guy's house and asked him for weapons or whatever of sorts, and he didn't let him in. He went and he called the cops, and the cops actually arrested the ATF agent.
Yep.
So
Glorious.
as far as that goes, if an IRS agent is on your property and they're knocking on the door, trying to get in, trying to do whatever they need to do, call the cops, because they're not the top law enforcement. They're the 6th largest law enforcement agency. That's it. They're not. You can do the same thing that guy did, to the ATF guy. Call the cops on him. Be like, there's somebody on my property. I don't know who they are. I want them removed immediately. Because if they find that you're deficient and you need to pay something or whatever, they need to actually file the paperwork saying that you're deficient and you need to go to court. There's nothing that says they need to show up at your door. Nothing that says they need to enter your property. Nothing that says they even need to speak with you. If they show up at your door, call the cops.
Yeah, call your local law enforcement, 100%. And that's exactly what I was going to say. And again, let's talk about prepping. Said, like they should be sending social workers, not armed people anyways.
Right, exactly. Let's talk about prepping. Welcome. How you doing?
And I'm going to try to find that video and see if I can throw it up here, because it is absolutely freaking hysterical.
The ATF agent?
Holy shit, yes.
Oh, yes, this is great. This is pure porn.
It's funny.
That didn't take long.
I was gonna say, see who takes longer to get it. I didn't start yet. That's when you're like, oh, that didn't take long.
Oh God, it's
so
so
does the
beautiful.
Go. Well, right. I mean, if you actually think about it, taxes, you owe money. So then you go and you actually go to taxes and to find out that there was what happened.
Oh, there was an ad.
Oh, and they find out that you actually get a refund from it. Then what? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me I fucked up and I didn't take my refund. Are they going to still try shooting at you because of that? I mean, do they know why they're coming to your house? If they do, send the paperwork. Say, this is what's necessary for you to actually do whatever you need to do. Local law enforcement come after you if they need to. I really
This is why
don't
Rumble
understand.
is so fantastic, because they have a
Yes,
genuine search
Rumble.
engine where all I have to do is just look it up in the search, and then boom, there it is right there. They don't censor, they don't go batshit with this kind of stuff. It's just a genuine search. You just go in there, you search it, you'll find it. Here we go with this glorious video of this takedown of this Fed boy asshole.
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
I'm a federal agent.
Why wouldn't you show me your ID when I got here? Don't move forward.
You didn't ask for it. He is at 3-3.
Get
He
on the
didn't ask
ground. We'll
for
figure it out.
He didn't ask for it.
Get on the ground. We'll figure it out. I love this.
Right on that 10-8.
Oh, it's
Not
so
getting on the ground.
beautiful.
Well, then stay where you're at.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Fine. Why do you got to make this harder than it is?
Listen, I'm not getting out.
I have no problem making this.
I just want to see if anybody's very responsible as well. You're the one overreacting.
I'm not overreacting. We got a call that someone's impersonating a police officer out here, doesn't have ID.
No kidding, because she doesn't want to open it.
Okay, get on the ground so I can find out.
Because she doesn't want to open the door.
No kidding. Why wouldn't she
You
want to open
are.
the door? Because she doesn't
Okay,
know who
fine.
you are, bro.
Do you find I think I'm a police officer or something? What the heck's the matter with you? Who do you think you are?
Chopper.
Get on the ground.
I'm not getting out of
Chopper things.
Get on the ground. He's back to that
I'm
now.
I'm not getting on the ground.
I got my
I'm
ID.
a
Do not reach
jackass.
for your waist. Keep your hands up.
Dude, why would I have an O-leg shit?
Get your hands up.
Get
Get on the ground.
Face down now.
Now.
Face down. You guys are making a big mistake.
You are the one making a mistake.
Face down now. All the way down. All
They
the way.
will shoot your
You
ass.
got my IDs right here. Left
Oh my
I would
god.
have laughed if he would have actually had to actually do
Do
so.
not resist.
I'm not resisting.
You're acting
Obviously,
like a
we wouldn't be
moron.
showing it.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't do this. Wait a second. I got a medical condition. Get my license.
Now it comes out. Oh my
I got a
gosh. It's so vague.
It's so perfect. Oh my god.
Pocket.
We're getting you secured first.
Please, wait. No. Hold on. I'm hyperventilating.
Oh my god.
I'm hyperventilating.
I'm not. Stop
resisting
Would you
now.
please get my ID out of my left pocket?
Stop
I'm begging
resisting.
you. My wife, please. She's right here.
My wife's pregnant.
What the fuck?
I got one cuff on.
I did not see all this.
Sir, I can't do this. Sir,
Stop resisting now.
please help me. Sir, please.
Please.
Yo, get your taser. My taser.
Again, he's an ATF agent. Why is
Don't
he
make me change you.
resisting? If he has nothing to actually hide and he has all right to actually be there to do what he's doing, just lay down on the ground, let them do what they need to do. They'll release you the second that they're done. They're there to do their job. Resisting results in bad outcomes. We've seen this multiple times, multiple accounts of cops having issues with people resisting arrest. Duh.
Resisting now.
Please help me. Sir, please.
Yo, get your taser out. My
My
taser.
federal
Get your taser out.
friends.
Get your taser out, Joe.
No, don't do that, please.
Don't make me tase
You're
you.
gonna get tased.
Put your right arm behind your back. Put your right arm behind
Help
your
me
back.
up.
No,
Help me up.
no, you're gonna stay on the ground and put the right
Help me up.
arm behind your back.
I'm sorry, Barton Brothers. She's like, I don't find this funny. She's like, that woman could have got him killed. All he had to do is stop resisting. Lay the fuck down and do what you're asked.
Ow, don't do that. Okay.
Wow.
All that has to happen.
my
Don't
God.
resist. It comes out with a bad outcome.
Oh no, don't do that. Ow, no. Oh my god, it's so perfect. It's
Thanks, Robin.
oh my god. It's so fantastic.
Follow their orders. It's much easier. Always. Thousand times over.
An actual law enforcement officer, right?
And that's why I said
again-
somebody shows up at your house, you don't know who they are, and they're in, you don't know what they're actually doing, what they're impersonating. Call your local law enforcement. Let them deal with them.
Right. Don't just
They
let
can
somebody
get
just
you their
run up to
correct.
your house door.
There's
Just
no
park it.
reason why is somebody that's part of some weird, strange agency that's unbadged and whatever is going to show up at your door to try to do something. Well, she won't open her door. Hell no. Don't open your door.
But I'm
There's
police.
nothing
I
that
got
says
my
you need
police.
to open
Do
your
not
door
see
for
that big old letters on my chest that says police. Let me in the door. Do it now. No, actually. I'm
Hell
not doing
no. How do I know you're not freaking crazy?
JMK, as a disabled guy, I understand not wanting to go down. And I get that. But
He
at the
didn't
same
seem very
time, if
disabled
you're
until
being told by local law enforcement to do so, you still comply. The second you comply is where you run into issues. We've seen it over and over and over again on multiple accounts of people resisting arrest. And that's exactly what it was. He was resisting. I'm not doing that. Why would I have one of these pieces of paper? I'm not laying down. I'm not going to listen to you because I'm king shit. No.
Yeah, he's a Fed boy.
Fuck
That's the way
down.
they all act. That's the way they all
Comply.
act. They think that your local sheriff is a shithead.
How do
They
we
think that
tip you?
They think he doesn't know.
buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg.
Oh yeah.
There should be links down below. Yep. PayPal.com/PayPalMe/Koolfrog or buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrog. Those are both available down in the description. You can actually click one of those and it will bring you there.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
But I mean, these people, that's the way that these people act, these Fed people. They think that your local law enforcement, that your local sheriff and these other people, they think that they're stupid. They think that they don't know what the Constitution says. They don't know when the Constitution of their own state and the federal Constitution and your rights are being completely violated. They think that they can just run
Susie
roughshod
says,
over
still, I also thought the cops were sounding freaked out too, as they're being stern in telling you, get down on the ground. When they have to say it multiple times, they're going to get more and more stern, and they're going to actually, that's where they get lackadaisical with themselves, and they actually get to the point they pull a trigger when somebody isn't doing what they're told. Local law enforcement is your number one law agency, not the FBI, not the ATF. Sure as hell isn't the IRS. It's your local law enforcement.
Leslie says,
Thank you for
which is
putting
the best?
links in there, Gene. You're the best.
Gene's awesome.
Leslie wants to know which is the best, PayPal or tip.
The buy me a coffee, I prefer that one. It takes less time for it to actually get to me. The reason I say that is PayPal's ridiculous and they hold money for 21 days. Right? I got almost a couple $100 sitting in PayPal that I can't use. There's nothing I can do with it because it's not read to me. Whereas the other one releases every once a week or something or other. So yeah, that'd be my suggestion for you is to buy me a coffee.
Freaking love this guy though. He's like, oh no, you can't throw me on the ground. I have a medical condition.
Yeah, that wasn't until like after everything happened. He didn't state it like right away.
I can't. My wife
That's exactly what.
I can't breathe.
The comment that I read exactly. He's like, well, as somebody that's handicapped, I have a problem getting down to him. I have an issue.
Yeah, I totally.
It's going to take me a second to get down. I'll get there. Allow to get there. I really have an issue.
That is sure as hell
whatever.
What I would
Explain
say.
yourself. Don't just sit there and be like, I'm not complying. I got a piece of paper that says I can do whatever the hell I want. Blah blah blah. No, you don't. Listen to the officer.
And that's something else too. Is that Carrie Lake was even talking about this in Arizona with the Arizona elections, and they were talking about Merrick Garland was talking about potentially sending feds to Arizona if Arizona doesn't comply with whatever they want in their investigations, if they do things or whatever, something to do with election processes or other different things within state law that they want to do that the feds don't want you to do. I have to look that up again specifically, but she was sitting there. She's like, no,
Frank?
If Fed boys come
Hey,
in here
Frank.
and they start demanding things of our people, we're going to throw them in Arizona jail because they're violating the federal constitution and state constitution. So to hell with them.
And I agree, Ish. If you go down, they better be ready to pick me up because I'm disabled. I can't stand up without help. Yeah, exactly. You
Well, you're
you
not an
explain
ATF
yourself.
agent, so you got nothing to worry about.
Right. Well, I mean, but yeah, you explain yourself and you'd be like, I'm having an issue. I am disabled. You need to help me up. If you calm and you actually talk to them as opposed to resisting, because you're not going to resist, I would assume, you're not going to have that issue. Barton Bella says, if the guy identified himself as a federal agent and she called the local PD and reported it falsely, I hope she enjoyed what happened next. I'm no fan of feds, but that was extreme. You know, it may seem extreme to some, but at the same time, why was he resisting? If he was a federal agent and he was legitimately there to do what he was legitimately told to do, why was he resisting? He just listened to what the officer said, explain to him who you are, explain what's going on, and go on with your day. Because she had no clue. And if she called the PD because he didn't identify himself correctly, that's I get
again,
what you're
his
saying.
explanation for not
I do.
identifying
I get what
himself
you're
is-
saying because if he did identify himself correctly and she did that or whatever, there's still could be repercussions for actually calling, cops on a cop, whatever.
But again, if he's violating
time.
the law and he's there to try to illegally steal away your guns because, oh, I'm the ATF, I can do whatever the hell I want. Well, no, you can't, sir, because we also have what's called a, federal system of government, which you cannot violate. And if you're going to come to me and claim that you have a right to enter my home when there has been no court proceedings, there's been nothing filed against me, there's been nothing, you just show up at my door wanting to go through my house, wanting to go through my stuff. And then on top of that, his explanation for not identifying himself is that she won't answer the door. Well, sorry, you should have identified yourself in court papers previously, telling her you were going to arrive and that this was the date in which you're expected to. And if not, then an agent will show up at your door. That didn't happen. He just showed up. I'm ATF. Let me in. I want to do whatever I want. And she's like, oh, shit. I'm not going to have this guy just like rummaging through my house. I don't care who the hell he is. I mean, I don't know who the hell he is. So it's like, yeah, you're impersonating an officer as though you have the power of law enforcement when you didn't even go through proper proceedings that law enforcement is supposed to go through. This is the same thing with the Mar-a-Lago raid, is it not? It's the exact same thing. They didn't go through any proceedings. They just got a quickie warrant and they just ran into his place and just rummaged the place. They had no
Clear
right to do it.
overreach. That's all it is.
Total overreach. And that's what this is with this ATF guy. It's the same thing with the IRS people. It's total overreach. I have the right to go through your home, to go through your personal papers and effects, to quarter myself in your home as an agent of the Fed. When an armed agent of the Fed, aka you might say, a soldier of the federal government, right? You're not allowed to quarter soldiers. You're not allowed to search through personal papers and effects. You have to have due process of law. All of those things are violated when an ATF officer just walks up to your door and demands to go through how many guns you have or how many bullets you have, or the IRS comes to your door and claims that, hey, you have to file this, you have to do this or whatever, or we're busting in or whatever because they have police on their shirt. Well, who gives a shit? We have a constitution and laws for a reason.
Okay, real quick.
Period.
Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you very, very much. Kara Froman says, what was the backstory? Why was he impersonating? I don't know if he was impersonating. This is that she was informed of who he actually was, and she felt that she was being threatened. Right. She felt threatened, so she called local. Simple as that.
Exactly.
Ishkid says, Koolfrogg, I've never heard of a Fed having a disability. They take a physical fitness every year. You can't even have diabetes because they don't want to be responsible for that.
Diabetes. Gonna get that diabetes.
We get that diabetes because that's what everybody's going to
No nuts.
Sunshiner says, if somebody came to my door saying that they were ATF, I would prefer to have a police officer there to let them know he, in fact, a real ATF officer. And is this something he can do? I would hope
Well,
so.
right.
I would, because I mean, they're going to check, they're going to check to make sure that this person, because they have database, they're going to database to be sure that that it's actually showing that they're actually the federal agent, and then they'll release the guy, and the guy can go back to doing what he was supposed to do, and file the paperwork or whatever, and give the lady the paperwork to actually take away her firearm. But obviously there was an issue. There was an issue with the way the guy approached, and
there's another
she
video
didn't
out
like
there.
it.
Right. There's another video out there of somebody within the, I think was it Delaware that they went to, or Virginia? And there was an ATF along with people. I believe it was was it local law enforcement, or where is it from, or state police, or something like that. And they came up to his door, and they're like, "Hey, we have a this or that or whatever to search this or do this or do that." And it's like, what? Well, yeah. We just want to make sure that we have an inventory of what weapons you have. This is one of those places where there's libtards ruling, and this was a more conservative individual, and so they come up to his door, and so don't trust local law enforcement if they're locally biased, if you know what I'm saying. Don't, where you live, what's going on there. If they're Soros backed district attorney people that are going to try to charge you and just rubber stamp anything to go after you because you're conservative, I mean, who to trust and who not to trust. You can look at that yourselves and decide for yourselves. But in this particular case, this was a place that was obviously ruled by lefty wackadoodles, and these people just come up and they're just like, yeah, we have a search. I guess it was a warrant or whatever to go through your house or go through this or go through that, or like take an inventory of how many weapons you have, whatever. And their reasoning was that I think it was something to do with social media, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like, what the hell? Like, oh, it's something. I think it was something to do with like social media, or like they're suspicious, or what? Like somebody reported you, some stupid shit like that. It's like, you don't have the right to go into my home and to come after me with this. And I don't even, I forget if they actually had no, they didn't have a warrant. That's right. I remember this now because Tim Pool talked about it, because Tim Pool is always big on, hey, show me the warrant, you're not allowed in. And that was the biggest. He kept like posting it. He posted like 5 times on his Twitter feed with his video, and that's what it was.
You still watch Tim Pool?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
okay.
And the thing,
just asking.
Rim tool here.
But the thing was, that's right. I remember it clearly now. It
Tim
was they went up
Pool.
to his door. They didn't have a warrant. They were just saying, hey, we have a report. Just make this easy on yourself. Let us in. Let us do whatever. And the guy was resisting and saying no.
As he should.
And exactly. It's like, you don't have a warrant to search through my house. You didn't go through the court. You didn't go through anything.
Complete violation.
Utter complete violation. So yeah. So again, your local areas, where you live, and who's trustworthy and who's not. But
maybe
most
people don't.
People that are law enforcement, most of them in local areas like sheriffs and other people like that, a lot of them are really based individuals. It just surprised you. A lot of them are. I know some people are very skeptical of police and things, as you should be, of authorities in the government.
Exactly. So this is why Barton Bella felt the way she did about it. She says, "You're all good, or my judgment is probably clouded due to my false arrest and how rough and humiliating it was at 7 a.m. Good news is the cop lost his job and the chief dad retired." And
wow.
Right. There are some bad instances where the cop is wrong. I get that. And I get that's why you would actually feel the way you did about it, possibly potentially being not the right ordeal or best thing for that lady to do. But she did feel that he was doing whatever improperly and did what she did because she felt that it wasn't a safe practice by that guy. Debbie Minecraft, I never watched Tim Pool. Should I? Depended on who you talk to. Some of the stuff that he talks about is all right. And it's really dependent on the day and who he has for a guest. Some of the guests are kind of hard to actually, listen to. Some of them, like Jack Posobiec, yeah, he's great. He's so fun to listen to. It's like there's certain, well, I'll be sure to actually tune into him, depending on who his guests are. So that's just my opinion, anyway.
That's a big thing too. And every one of his guests, another thing that I've noticed is that all of his political guests have won their political office this time around have won the primary.
Oh, people he endorsed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Kent, Carrie Lake, I think there's like 2 others. They all won. It's not just him.
It.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Everybody,
it took her a minute to crush it, but they were playing with her for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Because people showed up in such massive numbers. And this is why it's important for us to hold the line and hold the fight, because we're winning. Everywhere around us, we're winning. Jimmy, you should look at my video I put up on Rumble. I go through a lot of this with Joe Kent in Washington State.
Let's see.
Jesus, watch Benny Johnson.
Watch
the clips. The clips are awesome.
Benny Johnson, I listen to him. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's pretty cool.
Sure,
I don't know about watching the whole episode.
You're still my number 1 top searched thing on Rumble.
Take that as a compliment.
Well, you should go search something else.
Never. I use Rumble for shirts.
Never. Well, the interesting one is if you actually look at my stuff that I have out there, there's a couple episodes that are there that aren't here. So
I see an Alex Jones trial.
Oh yes, that's
not on YouTube. That is over there only.
Ooh.
The certain somebody that I was talking about earlier that had a certain problem with certain things that were said was also there and was going at it with me the entire video in the comments section.
Oh boy.
And might I say, lost royally.
So is it this election update, Washington State, Joe Kent, the MAGA candidate?
Yes.
Okay.
That one.
I'm going to keep that tabbed.
I think there's 80 people that viewed that now.
To round out Barton Bella's thing real quick, she says, I'm okay now. I just does something to you. Where the heck did I get jumped? Watching that made me panic. I know that sounds dumb, but it's a trauma. I got really lucky with the judge. It was great. He had a good lawyer. That's awesome. I'm glad things worked out for you. And like I said, there is some corruption that's out there that you do have to kind of watch for.
And no, it doesn't sound dumb AF because
it doesn't.
You went through.
That's why I took the AF out of it, and that's because I didn't feel that was necessary. Because I don't think it is
of
dumb.
Course you go through something like
I get
that. You want to voice what happened to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
Should I
that's
draw
why we
Trump,
like
guys?
having you around. What's that?
Should I draw Trump?
Draw Trump?
Yes. Is that something that I should do?
Draw Trump. Very
draw me like you never drawn
French girls.
anyone before.
On the front of a wall.
Trump comes up to me. Draw me like one of your French girls.
Not like the Asian one that they're trying to frame me for.
Yeah, not like one of those anime characters you draw, okay? I don't want to look like that. That's not me.
Big, beautiful, luscious hair.
I want my hair to look natural. He's sounding more and more Jewish as I go along. Well, the science.
There you go. M Sports. I stick to Koolfrogg and the gang because they're not trying to shove their ideology down your throat and don't throw you out if you have educated alternate view. Exactly. We accept
Why wouldn't we?
everybody. Right. Exactly. We love everybody. We accept everybody the way they are. And we understand that there's differences. And if you can't understand everybody else's differences, that's where getting into echo chambers. And
Oh yeah,
I yeah, you're very welcome.
toxic environment.
Glad that you're here.
I feel like if you have such an echo chamber and you are kicking people out, those people you kick out, those are the people that you could probably use in there the most.
At the very least, to make things interesting.
Well, usually in those kind of circles anyway, if they're kicking people out, it's because they're threatened by their ideas.
Oh, yeah. Either that or they're just too goddamn stupid. It's just like, I mean, like, there's some people where it's just like, okay, you're just a troll and you just keep like trolling
Oh,
and
yeah.
trolling.
See, everybody understands kicking those people, though. It's
Oh,
like,
right.
okay, it's a troll. Like, everybody gets it. It's okay, yeah, that's fine. Kick him. He's being an asshole or whatever. He's being stupid. There's a big difference between that and somebody who's bringing opinions to the table in a calm manner and getting just totally kicked out. It's like, bro.
Hey, Colin Banner. No, I'm just kidding. Ugh. Let's see here if there's something else.
Schwartz's keyword was educated alternate view.
That is right. He did say that.
Debbie says, Koolfrogg, I'm a DEM that keeps moving to the right. I'm educating myself when I'm here. Here's the fun part, Debbie. If you actually go back, it was second episode, maybe third episode, I did a political compass test. The political compass test put me one square to the left and one square down into the libertarian side of it.
How long ago was it? By now, it may have shifted.
That's what I was just going to get to. So over the 8 months of doing something, I've actually taken the political compass test again, same one, and it's actually put me, 1 notch up and 7 notches to the right. Just saying. Education really does do something to you. And it really actually makes you start thinking of things. I don't think I answered anything totally different. So that's the interesting one. The center has moved. But yes, take those political compass tests. You'd be very interested where you actually stand, and take it again in about 8 months and see where you actually are. See if it changes. See if it moves after actually being educated and understanding certain things. Not saying we're the smartest people in the world either, but we'll give you some ideas and some thoughts to actually put through your own head. What you got?
Oh my God.
Here? That's
I freaking love Carrie Lake. Listen to this, what she says.
He's right up there right now, and his name is Governor Ron DeSantis.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's looking down here, but he's up there in that room, and we appreciated him. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit. I just got to spend time with him. Love the guy. Fantastic. He is gutsy. The guy has bigger... Okay,
Cojones. Cojones.
let me think about how I want to word this. My staff always says, whatever you do, do not say balls. I'm not going to say it.
I'm not
going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Amazing.
It's so fantastic. Oh my god.
Balls, and I'm not gonna say it. Everyone changes with experience. Exactly,
That was
Mentamore.
very Trumpian.
Oh my god. It's so fantastic.
That's exactly what I thought of when she said that. I'm like, that's like totally something Trump would say.
Oh, yeah,
Balls,
that's a
and I'm
Trumpism.
not gonna say it.
They don't want me to say shit anymore, so I'm not gonna say shit.
He would have another sentence or two to go along with that same
Yeah,
word
he
though.
just keeps
He's
saying
like,
it too.
the shit's huge, you know. So
Cajones. I really wish she would have said cajones. Cajones.
balls, and I'm not gonna say it.
Balls. I'm not gonna say it. I don't care you broke your arm.
Jace, not gonna do it.
Does it?
What do you we're at 2 hours 15 minutes. Got anything else that you want to share?
I don't know.
Should we go off with something? I mean, obviously we should watch a United spot. I see they put a new one out today.
Are you able to do those Trump singing videos anymore?
No, I get them taken away every time I do.
Ah, damn. Okay, that's chilling.
I did one a couple of Saturdays ago. I went and I did one where he like the whole dance where he actually like does the dance to the song. I think did the whole video, and I had to like edit out like 5 different spots that they didn't want me to have because it played the song. And it's music's just ridiculous. I mean, I could probably play something and turn the music off and just watch him dance. Would
That
still
was funny. You guys should go check out the Trump sings "I Fought the Law." It's pretty fantastic. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Well done. Okay. But I'm probably gonna draw Trump tomorrow, maybe around 3 o'clock Minnesota time. So catch me for that on my channel if you like.
Hell yeah! Everybody, check
this a
out Jimmy
tweet from-
YouTube. I seen
yeah,
Gene
go
had
on.
actually threw up links for him again at a couple times. If she can throw that up one more time for us, that'd be wonderful.
Totally, people.
Gene's the best.
India.
Hashtag BDE. Hashtag BDE. Hashtag not BDE.
This is a tweet from Carrie Lake. That's so fantastic. I freaking
Balls,
love
and I'm not gonna say it.
It's so fantastic.
They all have balls except for the third one.
Do you think Trump likes balls on his food, guys?
I think he does. I really do. Because that's the best way to do it. I could be wrong, but
I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
thank you, Gene. You're the best.
You're a
I
dear
don't even
Gene.
have. Seriously, the best mod ever. United spot. Do, 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 do.
Trying to think of what would be the best one. He's put up so many different ones.
He's done so much. Like
Holy
every day there's dang 10 hours, 8 hours, 6 hours. He's like on top of it.
Those are his stream times?
Those are his upload day times. So it's like, holy crap. It's like, how do you really have that much time? I bet he's making 289,000 subscribers. He's just growing very massively huge.
Oh man, my approval rating is going right down the toilet. It's the worst it's ever been. Oh, how can a guy with 81 million votes such a low number? Oh,
This guy.
don't make any sense. I've done so much for America, and this is how they repay me. Right there is a big pile of my accomplishments. You think with a pile that big, my approval rating would be a lot higher. What's wrong, Joe? My approval rating is low again. So,
And
imagine if
phone
tobacco companies had a low prostitute suing rate. Yeah, well, isn't it a bad thing? Oh, no, it's not. Nope, not at all. Look in the mirror, Joe. Yeah. We do what we want when we want. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. Oh, good. Because I thought I was going to get fired for this. Oh, you're going to get fired. Wait, what? What? You said I was going to get fired. No. I said, you look tired. Yeah, I am a little tired. Why don't you go lay down and I'll warm up your bottle for you. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You're gonna get fired and then the White House is mine. Oh, no. I can't find myself anywhere on TV. I gotta do something about this. Well, I don't know what to do. Breaking news. Joe Biden doesn't know what he's gonna do. What the hell was that? Sorry. I'm practicing for my new job. Joe, as long as I'm president, you'll be just fine. I think you just need to keep doing what you've been doing. It'll circle back. Yeah, Joe, it's gonna be fine. So just keep doing what I've been doing and everything's gonna be okay? Yep. It always works that way. I'm not wearing a mask because I'm excited, but I wear one 99.999% of the time. You know, gun manufacturers get away with everything. That they do, Joe. That they do. Hey, honey, did you lie in your gun application? No, Dad. I would never do that. I believe you, son. I mean, you're such a good boy. You got a pretty smart son, Joe. Yeah, I do. So what are you doing today, son? Just counting my $4.8 billion I got from a company in China. $4.8 billion? You need help counting that? No, but could I put some of it in your bank account? Put some in mine? Sure, buddy. Whatever you
Put some
want.
in mine.
Can you put some in my account, too? By the way, son, I'm a little short on rent this month. Think you can help me out? Don't worry, Dad. I got you covered. Thank you, son. You're the smartest boy I know. Thanks, Dad. Oh, man, I just can't catch a break. Yeah, what? Well, my new video only has 6,000 views. So? Well, how is this possible? It's probably a mistake. Yeah, that's what I thought. You got 81 million votes, Joe. Yep. That's what they tell me. And I bet there's 81 million likes on your video, too. Oh, I'm sure there is, but the damn like button is turned off. So I heard I told you you're banning guns again. Yep, I did it before and I'll do it again. Americans shouldn't be allowed to protect.
That's the United Spot. Everybody should check out the United Spot.
He has like a million videos he put out in the past 2 days. Check them all out.
And that was the last one that he put out. And that's when I'm like, which one's the best one? I don't know. All of them. All of them are just great. 2.5 hours. Everybody should check out AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com.
That is
The
AmericaShirts.
most best place on the internet.
Indeed, it is. Thanks for the jingle. You can go there and use the discount code Koolfrogg to save 15% off anything in the store. Go check out the Abolish the FBI t-shirt that I have up there. You should totally go check that out, as well as the others that are there at the store as well. I am sure you will thoroughly enjoy all of them. And again, that's part of the pushback, is to get things like that, the t-shirts, and wear them and let everybody else know where you stand and that, you know, they're not alone. And it helps people to rally together and push back against our corrupt overlords. So let's do this, people. Buy yourself some shirts.
Hell yeah. Great pitch.
And everybody should also check out Jimmy YouTube. You want to get anything to say for yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I also have my Rumble America Shirts. You
Jimmy
see that in the
YouTube.
description. Just had to throw that in there. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks, sir. I love you, dog. I love you so much.
I know you.
Yeah, I'm Jimmy YouTube. You can follow me here on YouTube or on Rumble at the Atlas Pass, I believe. And I'm at the Atlas Pass on Odyssey and also on TikTok. But I don't really post there that much. So follow me on here.
Real quick, Barton Bella says we should check out Fauci's Starving for 10 Freedom Tunes. Oh, okay. We'll check that out one of these times. Maybe after we're done here. Either way, I am Koolfrogg. If you want to support me immediately, go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. There's a PayPal link down below. There's a Rumble channel, and there's a Locals channel. Hit those up. Eventually, I'm going to start doing something here on Locals. I know there's quite a few people over there. I know I've been saying this for some time. It's just finding to actually do it. I will do something. I promise. It will happen. Yeah, that's about it.
Yep, go check out all.
Don't forget to check out AmericaShirts Rumble channel.
Yes, totally. Go over there. And
So
check
based
that
over
out.
there.
Yeah, I totally go check that out. And again, everybody's alternatives to mainstream social media, because we all know what's coming down the road here, ladies and gentlemen. Probably by the fall, they're going to try to pull something somehow, some way, and God only knows, maybe we'll be off of the mainstream. You got to build up the alternatives, people. That requires you to build that up, to make that audience over there on the alternatives, to pay attention over there and to watch it, because if something happens here, that's where it's going to be. So you got to do it, folks.
Exactly. But
one day we're just not going to be able
think
to
about
find
it.
anyone.
Don't think
Nobody
about
that
it.
we
Just
watch
do it.
anymore, you know?
Right?
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Love y'all. Have a wonderful night. Say goodbye.
Peace.
Later, peeps.
Later.